GM can't break the bailout blues. That story time in tonight's 2-minute drill. We are joined by Tea Party 365 founder David Webb, Penn Financial President Matt McCall, and Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall. Let's fire up the clock. GM stock falling below its IPO price, even though it beat on earnings today. Now, this despite a sweetheart tax deal it is getting from its government overseers. GM enjoying a $14 billion tax break. So if GM is profitable, why is its stock falling, and why is it still getting bailouts, Matt?
It should not be getting bailouts, but obviously they're in bed with the government, so that's why they're getting it. Taxpayers still own 33% of this company. So I think what the government's thinking is we give this tax break, we get the stock price up, it has to get up into the mid-50s for basically the government taxpayers to break even. That's what they want to see. Unfortunately, the fourth quarter sales were not good. The year was the best year, but the fourth quarter was bad.
And the reason the sales were down, David, is because the trucks weren't there.
Yeah, the truck division got hurt, but on top of that, this is a good way to keep stimulus dollars down, hide it, and look what they're doing. It's an off-the-books transaction. This is essentially what the government's doing. This is the flim-flam shifted around. They still owe us billions. They took, what, $45 billion in tax breaks. We want our money back, and the bondholders are still waiting.
Well, Leslie, we are stockholders as taxpayers, but would you buy GM stock right now?
David, I'm really bad for this part of the panel because I wouldn't buy any stock. I don't play in Vegas. I like my money. I'm an under the mattress with my money type of girl. I don't risk. I know you don't yield if you don't risk, but I have to tell you have to remember, we didn't just pay bailout dollars, folks, to GM. We did also to the very market that you're angry with. So I would agree it makes people angry, but I do agree with Matt when he said that the government did this to hopefully get a better profit
I like
back
that they always go to Wall Street, Leslie, and I love you, but we have got to stop bailing out.
I love you, Bob.
I love you, Bud. Yeah, I heard that before.
Look, we gave the unions $4.3 billion. We're helping pay off their pension funds. When are we going to stop this
But if you had a bank who reported the best earnings in 12 years and they get a $14 billion tax break, people will be up in arms, but because it's GM, it's okay.
All right, we run out of time on this one. One of America's oldest guitar makers complaining that China is stealing its brand and selling junky guitars under the Martin label. If you know guitars, you know Martin. Martin guitars are pretty famous. They're the favorites of a lot of musicians. The acoustical guitars even featured on the show Glee. The controversy happened when Martin tried to expand to the hot Chinese market, but a Chinese maker, quote, hijacked the Martin brand. Martin wants government help. So should D.C. intervene here at all?
Absolutely.
Really?
Ongoing problem for decades. We can exert some pressure. Patent theft, not recognizing, patent protections. I don't know if they can do much.
Leslie, are they going to listen to us? The Chinese haven't done anything with these property rights in the past.
Well, it kills me. I think I told you before, David, my grandmother used to say, oh, made in China, and put it down. So I grew up that way. Now it's where can we find something that isn't made in China? Hey, guys, what happened to less government? No big brother. You want the government when it benefits the businesses, obviously.
Trade offices,
and here's an example of that.
No, we have trade offices for each country, and they deal with each other in this manner. They say, look, stop stealing our stuff. We'll do something. It's not about bigger government.
But, Matt,
it's about effective government.
It doesn't matter what we try to do with the Chinese. Even if we threaten them with some kind of trade sanctions, they don't seem to do it. They never seem to protect personal property rights.
No, and this expands away from just guitars as well. It's DVDs, it's technology, you name it. China's been stealing this stuff for years. So, no, there's nothing we can do, unfortunately. We should, but there's nothing we can do.
All right, the shuttle Discovery launching today for the last time, and there will be only 2 more shuttle launches before the program gets scrapped. The federal government has simply spent its way out of the space program. So do we need to give even more money to NASA? Leslie?
I don't think we need to give money to NASA for space exploration, but I do think there are many things that NASA does, and honestly, I've been educated on when it comes to medical research, helping to clean up the BP oil spill. So I think if funds are going to be given to NASA to help us as a country in certain areas like technology, medicine, the environment, then yes, we give money, but not for space exploration.
Matt, you know what kills me? The space station, which is where this thing is going, a $300 billion space station, that's what it's going to service right now. But if we don't have any more space shuttles to go up there, we're not going to be able to use it. We'll have to share a ride with the Russian spaceships that go up there. We got to depend on the Russians.
Or Richard Branson may come out and get his own spaceship and take us up there. We can buy a seat on it. I'm not the biggest fan of NASA. I agree with Leslie. They did bring a lot to the table as far as technology, new inventions. discoveries. But the problem is, in the day and age that we're in right now, I think we're spending too much, and we're spending frivolously, just like the rest of the government.
I don't know how much they actually did bring to the table, by the way. Everybody mentions Velcro, which is a great product, but that's, other than that, I mean, the private sector is doing most of the discovery here.
The private sector not only does that, but they use NASA as a vehicle to get there and do research. The return from NASA in technology and medical research and other things goes a long way. And as someone who's not only knows a lot of these guys, but has worked and watched how they operate, we give billions to other bailouts. Let's take care of NASA because the ROI is good for the American people.
Conservative who likes NASA. David, thank you very much. Coming up on deck, we kick off a brand new special series, Buzzer Beaters. These are folks who survived the recession and are now thriving. We're going to meet a builder from Dallas. He's got quite a story. He has learned a very valuable lesson